Good morning, guys. How are we all doing? I am Dan from Trading with Dan. This is our Bitcoin morning update. A quick video today. So if you guys wouldn't mind smashing that like button, we shall go straight over to those Bitcoin 4-hour charts. So yeah, you can see on Bitcoin on 4-hour, we're getting a bit of a pullback here. Still quite a ways from our support zone on this trend line. However, we could find ourselves back down here, getting supported and bouncing off here. The main takeaway I think from today's video is that we've got the CPI print, the all-important CPI print tomorrow. Extra important now because we've lost this forward guidance from the Fed, where it's basically telling us what it's going to do, and it has now become, in inverted commas, data dependent. This is one of those basically data points that it is dependent on. So this is the new forward guidance. This is going to be the new, basically the new Fed press conference is these numbers coming through, because they are going to then give us an indication on what the Fed will or won't do. So yeah, very important statistic in the face of just how the Fed is currently operating, i.e. being data dependent, and this been one of the most important data points. So yeah, so we're gonna have to see what happens there. I am done with trying to predict these numbers. Over the times, it's just trying to analyze psychology and what's been saying and what's been going on. I've come to the conclusion that you can't really make any predictions on it. It will either it will be what it will or what it won't be. I mean, just look at the jobs number, for example. Practically double estimates. No one estimating up there. No one double estimates. No one even with the higher guesses were guessing it could be that high. So literally, these data points are you just gotta wait for them to come out, basically. So yeah, that is all we're doing. So yeah, Bitcoin has got room to move to the downside here and still be within its range, with it above this support level. So maybe that's why it's drifting off a bit. Stocks don't have as much leeway, and as such have not really moved down as much, still above this support. But again, obviously gonna probably trade sideways, wait for that CPI number. DXY also kind of just moving down a bit, but what that is doing is it's moving it's just closer to its sort of more recent average price action. 10-year is again still looking relatively constructive here. So maybe we are having just a swing fairly below here, trapping some shorts, obviously shorting the yield, buying the bonds, so trapping some people buying bonds and then sell it back down again. But that isn't my macro view. We'll have to see what happens. Probably trend line, some sort of trend line we can draw in there. Yeah, it's basically going to get back below this support area. Otherwise the upside is clearly going to be more likely. Gold having a little bit of just a bounce towards its recent lofty highs of 1800. So yeah, RIP gold. I guess it's not down as much as crypto though, so hey. But it was never up as much as crypto though, so hey. What else do you want to look at? Yeah, the Ethereum BTC pairing looking pretty good though. This again at its relative recent highs, still clearly below this resistance zone, but once we get through this resistance zone, yeah, I mean, if you just kind of look at this chart, once we get through this area, it is going to look especially bullish for this asset. So if we do, when we do get through here, it could start to look really good. Obviously, I don't think if we get a bad market reaction to the CPI number, I think we will maybe struggle. However, I still think even in a down to sideways crypto market, I still think Ethereum is actually going to outperform Bitcoin just because of the catalyst it has at this specific time. Obviously, normally it doesn't. It will under or overperform what Bitcoin does. So if Bitcoin goes down, we'd expect the ratio to come down, i.e. Ethereum to come down more. But it may in fact be the case it comes down less because of obviously the catalyst it has. Yeah, not really much else to look at there. Like I said, just relative sideways pattern. The USD pairing into this resistance as well. Printed a new recent high as well, with an 1800 handle, similar to gold. So 1 ounce of gold is worth the same as 1 Ethereum. There you go. So yeah, let's see if we can improve on that ratio. See if we can get more ounces of gold for our individual Ethereums. But yeah, important resistance area. If we get above here, then well, yeah, if we get above here and then obviously up towards here, then yeah, this could start to look really good. But yeah, I mean, we've got to wait. Literally, like I said, we're just waiting to see what happens. Wait and see what happens tomorrow, and also the market's reaction to what happens tomorrow, because they are not they're not as obvious as what you may think. Stochastics wise, 4 hour coming down, 10 hour still looking good, 12 hour looking great there, growth read from the 12 hour, daily looking good, bi-daily looking turn back down again though, but 3 day looking good, 5 day excellent, weekly good, and bi-weekly, well, is as good as it is. Obviously in the bearish zone, but it is turning up and coming up from a low level, so I wouldn't look at this and say this is a great read. But it's not basically coming down, is it, with plenty of room to run. It is turning up with all the room to run, so that could it could obviously signal a somewhat exhaustion, and therefore the lows have hopefully been in. But yeah, we shall see. Yeah, bit like I said, big day tomorrow. Don't really expect too much other than sideways and reversion to means. But yeah, obviously Bitcoin has got room to basically trade nowhere but come lower and just into this support, as long as it doesn't take this out, which I wouldn't expect to do, and I wouldn't necessarily expect to even realistically to move take out these highs until tomorrow now anyway, but we shall see. That's not very far away, but obviously most notably we've got this resistance trend line, which I think we would struggle to take out until we see what happens tomorrow. So that is it, guys. Remember, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Always do your own research, and I shall speak to you guys soon.